What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Corridor YouTube channel. It is August 28th, which means it's Morphin time, everybody. It is Power Rangers Day, so we are going to be unboxing this Power Rangers Lightning Collection Boom Studios Omega Rangers 4-pack, and I am so stoked. And by the way, look at that plastic-free packaging, so that is really nice. Here is the back of the box, and let's just go ahead and open this. All right, so here they are out of the box. They're still in the packaging, and the Yellow Ranger, it looks like, is sticking out a little bit, so hopefully she's not damaged. I'm just going to rip it. Alright, so here they all are. Like I said, we have Trini. She's the Omega Yellow Ranger who represents Earth, the Earth element. We have Zach, the Black Omega Ranger, who represents the Air element. We have Jason, the Red Omega Ranger, represents Fire. And we have a new character by the name of Huzzah, as I will refer to her, who represents the water element. So just a quick little backstory. I haven't read this particular comic series by Boom Studios, but I pretty much know all the plot points from people talking about it online, you know, different stuff like that. So Trini,
Zach, and Jason, sometime after the original series, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they went off on their own, and this particular comic book by Boom Studios, I think it started with Go-Go Power Rangers. They went off, to do their own little mission, and they become the Omega Rangers. They meet this new character, like I said, who's an alien. Eventually, she dies, and that gives rise to the Death Omega Ranger, who is, a bad guy, an enemy of these characters. And somewhere along the way, there's also a Gold Omega Ranger, who I'm pretty sure is a good guy, or at least starts off that way.
And I've already seen people online, like on Instagram, who have made, Jason or Zach, they've customized them into that Gold Omega Ranger. So that's pretty cool too. And man, I'm already loving these designs, these figures in general. I just know they're really going to pop once we get into all of this. Once we get into details and paint apps and articulation, accessories. In fact, speaking of accessories, I already took them out of their packaging. So we're going to go through all of these one by one, and yeah, so I'm just gonna lay them all out here first. Have some different effects that are really cool. So we're going to move all the other ones out of the way. We're going to start with Trini, but before we get started with her, I just want to say something about Jason. For those of you who are wondering, yes, we are going to try to put this head on that Omega Red Ranger. This is the figure that this head came with. It's the original release of the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger that I unboxed on the channel. Go check it out. And yeah, let's jump right into these guys. So I'm going to take these away, these three guys away, and we're going to look at Trini first. Okay, so here's Trini, and we're going to talk about details and paint apps first. So her accessories are painted really nice. She comes with this really cool hammer. It looks like metal. It has like a metallic mold for the hilt. And yeah, it just looks really good. She also comes with these two fisticuff hands. I believe this left hand is where her morpher is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that looks like maybe it could be a morpher to me. So yeah, she comes with those fisticuff hands. I'm pretty sure this effect, this little smash effect, is for Trini. I think her hammer, well, it kind of fits in there. But yeah, I think that's for her. So that's pretty cool. We're going to get into that. But there's also a yellow lightning effect, even though she represents Earth. So maybe these lightning effects are for one of the other characters. But yeah, let's look at her. And man, she's looking really, really nice. You know, everything, all the paint is spot on. I'm not seeing any scuffs. I'm not seeing any, the top of the boots right there probably could have used some gold since it has the gold trim there. Could have used some gold paint, but not a huge deal or issue. Everything else looks great. These little golden rivets on the shoulder pads actually look like they're molded in that golden plastic. It's almost like a metallic, you know what I mean? So that's really nice, That'll prevent any gold from getting where it shouldn't be. And her helmet looks great. So yeah, I wish I had a Trini figure. I'm working on getting one so I could also pop that head on this figure as well. But for now, we'll just focus on this figure. So let's look at articulation with Trini. So she can look down. I think her head might be catching paint or something. She's not looking down a whole lot. Okay, that's interesting. She can't look down a whole lot unless, I don't know. Okay, you really got to force it. But that's really strange because she has something that these original releases don't have. And that is, I guess, like a dumbbell joint going through her neck. So it's like a double ball joint. So you can kind of see the ball joint inside her head a little bit. And then there's another one down in the neck. So this neck is like separate from the torso piece is what I'm trying to say. So that should allow for even more articulation, but it's just not staying. It's not staying down. And like, look, if we look at this Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger, I mean, his head goes down and it stays down. And he can also look up. Let's see how much she can look up. It's just like constant. Well, there she goes. She's kind of looking up. Yeah, her head is just like kind of constantly wanting to go down. It feels like it should be able to go back and forwards more. But anyway, that's a little strange. Let's see her arms. So her arms aren't going up that much either. What's going on, Hasbro? This is a female figure, though. I haven't unboxed or reviewed a female figure, but let's again look at this original release of a Mighty Morphin. I mean, his arm can go up a lot. Hers cannot. So anyway, she has that pivot. She doesn't really have a butterfly joint. She has the swivel in the bicep. She has double jointed elbows. Wow. Oh, she has pinless joints. So I've always said this, that I'm not a huge fan of pinless joints. If it breaks, I can't really fix that. However, with a joint that has pins in it, if this one breaks, I can fix that. So anyway, she has a swivel and no hinge. Oh, she does have a hinge, but it only goes one way in the wrist. So this must be a sword type of hand, or I guess for her hammer. Yeah, kind of rough. Rough start. She has a lot of articulation in her lower torso part, but not the upper. What is this upper one even for? That like does nothing. Yeah, but the lower one gives you a lot of motion, so I guess that's good enough. I noticed too that the leg joint comes down, so maybe that'll give her more kicking capability than this old original release, which couldn't kick that high. Let's see. So if we bring it down, bring it out, yeah, I would say, since you can put this one back further, that gives you like a really solid kick. Again, let's just bring this original Lightning Collection figure. If you were to try to do that, I mean, you get a little bit over 90 degrees, but it is not, I mean, you could kind of twist this and you get a little bit more, but not as much. So this is much better. Big improvement, Hasbro. Good on ya. I like that. And then you can just pop that back into place. Those legs. So yeah, they go in and out. She has that thigh swivel or pivot. She has double jointed knees. She's got the boot, swivel, and hinge and swivel at the ankles, of course. So pretty good. This is a problem though. This upper torso does nothing. And I would say the neck piece is still a problem. She's not wanting to look down. And that is kind of frustrating. So, and she has a bobbly head, much like the White Ranger I unboxed, the White Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. So yeah, her head is bobbing quite a bit. But anyway, you can put the hammer in her hand. There you go. It's kind of loose. That's a little disappointing. What the heck? And she only has fisticuff hands, so this is like the only hand that can hold the hammer. Let's see if we can at least get both hands around the hammer. Oh, there we go. But it's still loose. What the heck? That's kind of annoying, man. Okay, so details and paint apps, I kind of skipped over that. Details and paint apps is a definite pass for this figure. Articulation, I don't know. It's a little rough. I mean, especially, you know, I don't understand these types of hinges in the hand, because if that joint gets loose, guess which way it's going. If it's carrying something like heavy in its hand, it's going down. It wouldn't provide any support. Whereas the original release, you know, had those typical hinges in the hands that have been, you know, a part of action figures for decades upon decades. So I'm not really a fan of these new types of hands. Hopefully that's not something that Hasbro continues to do. So articulation, I'll go ahead and give it a pass. I'll say it's good enough, but the head is an issue. The upper torso is kind of an issue. It doesn't really do anything. And this wrist and just the mold of the hand overall holding the hammer is also an issue, but that's kind of bleeding into accessories, which is what we were talking about. And accessories, I'll give it a pass because it looks good, and in theory, this should work. You know, she should be able to hold this, but it's just so loose. That's crazy. But I really like this. Like, this kind of makes up for it. I mean, I don't really know that she can... Yeah, I guess she could use it. You know, you can make her do stuff with that. This is a lazy pose right now because, well, it is really loose. I don't know. Maybe accessories, because that's the mold of the hand. That's what's at fault here. So maybe accessories, I'll deduct half a point, at least for the Yellow Ranger. We'll take a look at Huzzah here next, because the details and paint apps I can already tell are going to be the same. The articulation is going to be the same, but we need to take a look at her accessories and what have you. All right, so here is Huzzah. And another thing on the accessory side of things, I wish these would have come with unmasked heads, especially since this is a new character. We don't know who this is. Like, who is this? And it would have been cool to have an alien character unmasked. She is an alien. She's from an unknown world. So anyway, but yeah, the articulation is the exact same. as the Yellow Ranger. The body cast or the mold, the buck, whatever you want to call it, it's the exact same. I am kind of disappointed. You know, Yellow Ranger doesn't need it so much as the Blue Ranger, but I'm kind of disappointed there's no sheath. There's no sheath or holster for her trident, her Omega Trident. And you know, let me bring out the Lightning Collection Ninja Turtles crossover figures. All right, so here we have the black Ninja Turtle crossover figure with Power Rangers. And see, he has a holster for his Power Axe staff. You know, he has a holster. Even the blue turtle figure has a double holster for his 2 blades. Like, these Lightning Collection turtle figures, guys, don't sleep on them because they are really, really well made. I mean, everything, even the sculpt of like the power coins, I've brought that out in past videos. They're just really, really dope. And so this kind of leaves more to be desired, you know? I really like the sculpt, the paint, the articulation is fair, but, you know, you're giving us accessories. You could have given us unmasked heads. These accessories have nowhere to go when these figures are at rest. So, like, you could have given us a holster or a sheath for the Power Trident. That would have been awesome. But anyway, let's see if her weapon is as loose as the Yellow Ranger's. So, yep, still loose. Yeah, so accessories is definitely getting half a point deducted. This is ridiculous. This is like it belongs to a totally different figure. It doesn't belong to these figures. And it's kind of short. You know, that's something that I pointed out about these guys. The original release of the Mighty Morphin Lightning Collection figures, some of these weapons just seemed a little nubby. And if you put the Bandai Legacy Collection figures, if you take their weapons and give it to the Lightning Collection figures, the scale is much more realistic, I feel like. And let's just compare this trident. You know, it's a little bit shorter. I guess the trident, it's definitely bigger than the Lightning Collection Power Lance, the Blue Ranger's lance. You know, they're roughly the same length, but the trident itself is chunkier, which I appreciate. But again, the Bandai Legacy Collection lance or staff, spear, whatever you want to call it, it just looks so much better and to scale. And so anyway, I think they did a decent job with these accessories, but they could have done way better. So yeah, they're losing half a point, especially, my gosh, these hands can't even hold their accessories. So like, what is the point? Anyway, Blue Ranger, I'm kind of upset. But Blue Ranger, she does also come with 2 fisticuff hands as well. They're really nicely sculpted. So, there you go. Omega Blue Ranger. Man, I'm just a little disappointed because I wanted to like these. So far, they look so cool. And they got me so excited, but I'm getting disappointed. All right, and here we have Zack. And the only Zack head I have is still that awful one from the original Mighty Morphin release. I'll still try to put it on, and I'll also try to put on the Miles Morales head. We'll see if a Marvel Legends head can go on here. So we'll try that in a second. But first, of course, Details and Paint Apps is up first. And yeah, he's looking really, really good. You can't tell that the boot doesn't have the gold on top of it, like with the Yellow Ranger that I pointed out. Yellow Ranger, you can clearly tell You know, she's missing some gold paint at the top of her boots, but it's not so obvious with the Black Ranger, so that's nice. Seeing a little bit of scuffs there on the helmet. Oh wait, it came off for the most part, but no other defects. Anyway, let's move on to articulation. So his head, he's having the same issue as the ladies. So yeah, head not looking down. He has that separate neck piece from, it's separate, totally separate from the torso piece. So it's like that should add more articulation, if anything. Let's check out his arms. His arms can move up a lot more, a little bit more. No, well, I don't know. Is that more than, yeah, it's more. Hers is like barely 90 degrees. His is moving up a little bit more, but it's still not as much as these original releases of the Mighty Morphin. And he does have this shoulder pad piece, but it's a soft plastic, and it also is kind of separate from the torso piece, as you can see. So it should be able to move. But anyway, well, I guess, yeah, maybe it is the shoulder. Okay, I'm crazy. It's the shoulder pad that's hindering it. So his arm does go up a lot more. Butterfly joint, he does not have. So that's something that's unlike those original Mighty Morphin releases. He has double jointed elbows. He's got the weird hinge, the forward hinge that I don't like, and swivel at the hand. He's got tons of upper torso, lower torso action, so that's very impressive. His upper torso piece is a little bit more effective than the ladies. And then his leg pieces, you can also pop them out, pop those hips out of place. And he has this belt with no holster. It's kind of useless, a useless sculpt. It's a soft plastic, so you can kind of get it in the way, but hopefully these little bands on there don't break. But anyway, yeah, he can kick really, really good. So that's impressive. I really like that update. That's the only reason I'm giving these a pass on articulation. He's got that upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, boot swivel, and the hinge and swivel at the ankles. So there we go. And for the heck of it, before we check out his Omega commas and everything he comes with, let's pop the head off. And let's put the ugly head on. It's not wanting to go on, and maybe that's for the best. Seems like this peg is a little bit bigger than this peg hole. So, and if y'all remember in my unboxing of this guy, of the Mighty Morphin Black Ranger, this head was really a pain, not only to look at, but also to put on, and it was really like super tight, even on the figure that it came with. But now let's try a Marvel Legends head just for the fun of it. So here we have a PlayStation 5 Miles Morales head. We're going to try to pop this on. Oh, it did. It popped on super easy. It's very loose, much like the time I put it on the Mighty Morphin Black Ranger body. And it's also like kind of facing up. He's not really wanting to look down. I don't know what's up with these figures, with these Omega Rangers, and why looking down is a problem. But anyway, you can, in theory, put a Marvel Legends head on these figures. They're just going to kind of be looking upwards. So anyway, just wanted to do that for fun. Now let's take a look at his real accessories that he actually comes with. So he's got his Omega commas. And this chain is a super soft plastic, which I am not about. Like these lightning effects, which are really cool, especially this one, because it's new, a new mold. These are a much harder plastic. I mean, they're still soft, but this is like nothing. This is like paper. Like, this will definitely break, so be very careful with it. The hilts or handles are sturdy. The blades seem sturdy, so that's good. Hopefully he can hold his weapons, unlike the ladies. Let's see. So it's kind of loose on that upper part, but fortunately the handles get larger on the lower part of the hilt. So they hold, they stay. So that is awesome, because that would have pissed me off. So much better than the ladies. Unfortunately, you know, the ladies, I wish they could hold their accessories. You know, there's probably a way I can put some type of glue, let it dry, and that'll close up their hand a little bit more so they'll be able to hold their accessories, but you'll probably be able to see like a little clear glob there, so that's no fun. So come on, Hasbro, what are you doing? You're skimping out on the ladies. You know, ladies first. What's going on? But Zach fortunately can hold his weapons, and you know, the soft plastic, it's good, it's malleable, but I'm just afraid it's going to break. Yeah, but it is malleable, so that is good. You know, you can do a lot of different stuff with him probably. And, you know, he has these lightning effects. I guess since he's the air element, maybe these belong to him. You know, and you have this super large one, which I don't even know how you would figure that onto him. But anyway, you have them, and that's what counts. That's super cool. So that is Zach. Let's move on to Jason. All right, so here is Jason. Details and paint apps is a pass. You know, he's looking real good. No scuffs. Boots look good. Helmet looks good. Well, maybe there's a slight imperfection in his helmet. Almost looks like a thumbprint, but it's like permanently on the helmet. I don't know if y'all can see that. Anyway, that's kind of weird. But I'm not going to knock any points. I mean, that's something that could also be fixed with paint. It's not a huge issue. It's just a quality control issue, but everything else looks good. I'm mainly concerned about the gold paint being in the proper place, you know, which it is. Nothing is where it shouldn't be on the helmet or anything like that. So that's really nice. And articulation is the same on this guy as Zach, so we're not going to run through that. You know, his upper torso has a little bit more action than the ladies, but the head is still weird, and I don't like those wrists, so I've already said that a million times. Now, before we get into his official accessories that this 4-pack comes with, I just want to pop off his head, and we're going to take a look at the head that comes with this original Mighty Morphin Red Ranger that I unboxed on the channel. Go check that out if he'll stand. There we go. But yeah, we'll try to put this Jason head on this Omega Ranger body. Yay, it snapped on, unlike Zach's head. So, nice. He's not looking up. So he can't look down, though. Yeah, he can't look down. He can't look up because this neck joint is just utterly useless. But at least you can have his head on there. So that's pretty cool. And again, these should have definitely come with the unmasked heads for these Omega Rangers. So again, accessories is definitely going to lose half a point, but overall, these are still really great figures. Let's hope this sword will fit in his hand. Okay, thank God. That would... Oh, I would have been livid. So Jason can hold his weapon. Zach can hold his weapons. But the ladies, unfortunately, are left in the dust. So I'm still going to knock half a point for accessories because that's literally half the box set that can't hold their weapons. What is going on, Hasbro? And you have, of course, the fisticuff hands. I forgot to show off both of the guys' fisticuff hands. Let's get that into view. So yeah, really nice for the Red Ranger. It's probably the exact same for the Black Ranger. You even get a little bit more lines and details going on than the ladies. So, you know, it's just, it is what it is. But yeah, so you have these other two pieces, these other two little accessories. I'm not too sure what these go to. Oh, you know what? They have holes in the top right there. So I'm betting you can slide this onto these weapons. Maybe. Let's see. Whoa, don't break. No. Doesn't work for that one. Maybe his sword. Okay, it works for Jason's sword. So you have like little, you know, slashing effects. So that's pretty cool. Yikes. Keep the sword. Let's see if it works for Blue Ranger's staff. I don't know if it's going to work for the ladies. Man, the ladies literally got the short end of the stick in this box set. Okay, maybe you can push it through. I'm probably overstretching this little opening, but I don't care. It does fit on the Blue Ranger staff, so there you go. Got a little slash effect. Let's see if I can take it off. That ball might get in the way. Yikes. Okay, it came off, so nice. So that means you probably can get it on the hammer, but the nub, this little ball on the hammer, it looks a little bit bigger than what's on the Blue Rangers. Yeah, it's a lot bigger. So maybe you can't get the slash effects onto the hammer, but you have the smash effect. No slash effect though. So Yellow Ranger seems to be the one who gets the short end of the stick. So yeah, there you go. There are the Omega Rangers. Details and paint apps was a pass. Articulation, could have been better, but I'll go ahead and give it a point. And accessories only gets half a point for these guys. Now let's talk about price. The price for these figures, I got mine for $35.99, I believe. Yeah, I don't think it was $39.99. And at $35.99, I think that is a very fair price for these figures. They look really, really good. They're going to look amazing on your shelf, on my shelf. You know, the articulation could have been better. The accessories for sure should have been better. But I still think they're worth it, especially for that price. Don't pay any more than that, I would say. But overall, you know, these are pretty decent figures. So let's move on into size comparisons. And for size comparison, we're just going to keep Trini and Zach. Yeah, because the other two guys are the exact same as these two. So we'll just keep these two out. Okay, so first up for size comparisons, we have the Bandai Legacy Collection. This is the Dino Thunder Black Ranger and Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger, also Bandai Legacy Collection. So that's how these guys stack up against the Lightning Collection Omega Rangers. Let's take a look at some other figures. And once again, we'll just bring out these Lightning Collection Ninja Turtle crossover figures, just so you guys get an idea of how they stack up. And again, these Omega Rangers should have had holsters and sheaths like these guys. Anyway, let's look at some other figures. Oh snap, guys. By the way, I was just taking his commas off because these size comparison figures kept bumping into his commas. But look at this. As I was taking them off, they came off the chain. So these are two separate pieces, and that is kind of cool. I mean, maybe you could attach this chain to something else, or just use this chain for a totally different figure altogether if you wanted to, like a Lobo figure or a Ghost Rider Marvel Legend figure. So that's pretty cool. It still doesn't get them a full point for accessories, but it's a nice gesture. All right, so moving on, we have a McFarlane Wonder Woman figure and a McFarlane Superman figure. So this one's about 7 inches, and this one is a lot taller. I don't know what she is, like 7.5 maybe, or 7.25. But there you go. That's how those McFarlane figures stack up against the Omega Rangers. And here we have a Marvel Legends Book of Vishanti Dormammu. And we have a Marvel Legends Doctor Strange here. This is your standard 6-inch, figure. So yeah, he's about the same. Whoa, don't fall. He's about the same height as Zach. Little bit taller. All right, and here is that Mezco Darkseid and a DCUC, or DC Universe Classics, Superman figure. So this is a really nice size difference between these two figure lines, this DC Universe Classics figure and these Lightning Collection figures, because they're teenagers with attitude and this is an adult, and I think that is a good size difference. This Darkseid figure, I think he's 8 inches, so again, he's a Mezco. That'll give you a good idea of how they stack up. All right, let's look at some other figures. Let's get a little bit spooky. We got a NECA Dracula and a NECA Creature from the Black Lagoon. My personal favorite. Honestly, my all-time favorite classic horror monster. So there you go. I think Dracula is 7 inches tall and Creature must be 8, similar to Darkseid. So of course, what are our heroes without their villains? Here is a Super 7. Whoa, he just knocked Zach out. Dang, dude. But anyway, here is a Super 7. By the way, Zach's joints are really loose. He's like the only one that can't seem to stand. Maybe I should have kept Jason out here. Anyway, this is a Super 7 Lord Zed figure. Hasbro, you need to make a Master Zed figure, or maybe Super 7 should do it, since their Zed is bigger and better, in my opinion. But yeah, this is a Super 7 action figure. He's about 7 inches tall. So that's how he compares to these Omega Rangers. So hopefully that'll give you guys some nice size comparisons of different action figure lines in case you want to shake things up on your shelf. All right, guys, that'll do it for our Power Rangers Day review of this Lightning Collection Omega Ranger figure set. And at the end of the day, they still won points. I still like them enough to want to put them to want to keep them and put them on my shelf. I think they'll look great on your shelf as long as you can get them for between 30 and 35 bucks, and then of course plus tax. I think that is a really good price. Don't pay any more than that for these guys. I think that's a really great deal for these 4 action figures. But let me know what you guys think of these Omega Ranger figures in the comments below. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. It's free to do. And I know Trini's not here. I think she's a little bit busy. Let's take a look at what she's up to. Oh boy, Zed is going to feel that one in the morning. Alright, thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.